3D Land and 3D World were really a neat little deviation to the formula.
To be honest, I'm kind of glad that we didn't get another new Super Mario Brothers. That was actually kind of getting stale after a while.
It started to lose its newness.
I'm actually surprised that I was expecting the Switch to get one.
Well, we got one in the form of Deluxe.
Oh,
but that's a remake.
Oh crap. My internet just died.
It did?
It's paused. I can't see anything.
Oh.
Cut.
Like, this is supposed to... Well, again, I don't want to be in this world any longer than I need to, so I'm just gonna continue.
There we go. It caught up.
Are we still recording?
Yeah, it caught up.
Okay.
Okay.
So we can just cut out whatever frickin' got paused or leave it.
Technical difficulties, folks. We're sorry about that.
The only
Something
game,
happened.
the platforming character series that kind of lost their way. They kind of stopped getting games for a while. Like Donkey Kong, during that sort of generation, didn't really get anything new. Neither did Kirby, except for like the Game Boy games, but nothing like a 3D platformer.
Kirby did get his resurgence during the Wii era, though.
Yeah. Obviously Banjo-Kazooie didn't because, you know... Yeah. Well, no, I mean, like, before that, like, the PlayStation 2, Xbox, GameCube era was kind of absent, even though they had planned for a third game on the GameCube.
I think the main reason why Rare decided not... Why Rare couldn't really put one out is because they had so many plans, but they got kind of axed when Microsoft bought them out.
That's true. Though, I just wish that Microsoft would have, like, this would have been nice, is that instead of giving us the remake of Conker's Bad Fur Day, now, I'm not saying that I don't like that idea that we got a remake for it, but, like, it's not that good, because they had to censor everything.
I heard it wasn't all that good.
What they should have done is given us a remake of the first Banjo-Kazooie game. That would have been nice for the Xbox. I think people would have liked that even more.
I hope something like that comes to the Switch eventually.
Yeah.
Well,
Like, literally,
I mean,
just give us frickin' Banjo Redooey.
A redoey.
I mean, that's probably what they would call it. Let's be honest. It's a clever name, and I feel like that's something Rare would do. Well, the old Rare anyway. I don't know about the new Rare, who can't even develop a proper Killer Instinct game because they didn't even work on the one that came out. That was done by a third-party company because Microsoft.
That was done by Helix, and I forgot the name of the other company.
Iron Galaxy.
Iron Galaxy.
They were because Rare was too busy working on the Kinect games, I believe.
Yeah. Because Microsoft was just like, hey, we want to market this freaking Wii knockoff.
It just makes me wonder, like, what would happen if Rare would have stuck with Nintendo and not went to Microsoft. Well, for one, Banjo...
Probably not Banjo 3 that we all expected to get in this timeline.
That probably would have came out, yeah. But I'm just wondering, like, after that, it makes me wonder. Because, obviously...
What else?
Well, unlike PlayStation and Xbox, where they went from, you know, the platformer games to more action-oriented games later down the road with the PS3 and 360.
Sorry to interrupt real quick, but how much time do we have left?
It's been 28 minutes.
Okay. Yeah, we'll keep going, and you guys keep talking, and then I will explain what will probably happen after I go. Let's go to bananas. But yeah, keep going. You were saying?
What I was saying is that the reason why Banjo-Kazooie didn't really do well on the would never have done well on the Xbox or the PlayStation is because the fan base doesn't care about platformers. Maybe not so much Sony, but definitely Microsoft. They don't care about platformers. They want shooters. They want action. They want sports. And that's
like
not what...
Log said in Banjo-Kazooie Nuts and Bolts, people don't want to collect stuff. They want to shoot things.
And that's the problem. That's why I think if if Rare was still with Nintendo, they probably would just be making platformers at this point.
And then suddenly, like, after that happened, then people started wanting it.
No,
So
people
it's like,
people always did, just not on not on Xbox. They wanted it on like Nintendo. That's where Banjo's. I'll say this right now. Banjo-Kazooie's fans have always been on Nintendo platforms, not on Xbox. That's the problem. Their fans are on a different platform.
Banjo-Kazooie is a very Nintendo derivative series.
see,
I mean, it was published by Nintendo themselves
the way
and funded.
The way I've come to witness it is like this. Nintendo fans want platformers and party games.
Stuff that's
Xbox
fun.
fans, what?
They just want fun, unique games that kind of like have a lot of interesting mechanics to them.
Have a lot of charm to them.
Yeah.
Xbox games wants grungy, first-person shooters and
Sony fans are kind of RPG-like gamers, to be honest. I'm not gonna lie.
not just that. Sony fans want RPGs, character action games like Devil May Cry, and fighting games. Because
Actually, fighting games is more PC now, but you know.
Well, all over the place, really.
Yeah. But I get what you mean. It's just that's why I think if Rare was still with Nintendo at this point, yes, we probably would have gotten that third game for Banjo-Kazooie series. We probably got that second Conker game that they wanted to work on. And there's probably a good chance that they probably would have worked on the next Donkey Kong Country game instead of having
Instead of Retro taking over the series.
Unless what might have happened is they might have allowed Retro and Rare work together on it. But then again, I doubt it. I feel like because Retro would no longer be working on Donkey Kong, and that would be Rare, Retro probably would have stuck with working on Metroid, and maybe Other M would have been different, and it called something different.
Maybe.
I don't know, because like
that is
absolutely
hard.
Crazy as it was.
That is a hard maybe.
Well, see, the reason is that when you look at it, like Metroid Other M, came out in 2010, right? I think it was 2010, 2009, I think. Around that time is when Donkey Kong Country Returns was being worked on, which was by Retro Studios. So that's why I feel like if obviously
Retro wasn't working on DKCR.
A Metroid game.
Work on Other M.
Yeah, it may not have been Other M. It may have been just a different Metroid game altogether that they would have worked on. Point is that they would have been worked on a Metroid game, and Rare would have worked on a Donkey Kong game. And that means Tropical Freeze most likely also would have still been in that same vein. And
Speaking of Metroid games, I just want to randomly make a plug and say, buy Metroid Dread. It's a fucking good game.
He's only advertising it because
we do want to emphasize, buy Metroid Dread. Emulation of the game is something I do not condone.
Unless we're
not right now, while it's being sold.
I was about to say, because we're doing that.
Yeah.
People be
like I said, while it's being sold, I do not condone it.
102 bananas.
Yeah, man.
Eh?
Not a number we should be having, but you know, them's the breaks.
Them's the breaks of our freaking.
I just like to live in the world where Rare was still owned by Nintendo, just to see what would have happened.
Okay, so
maybe buy a Fallout. I don't know.
So, boys,
we and them boys.
Here's where we're at right now. Well, first let me get out of here. Let me get out of this area. Let me go somewhere. Lanky. Come on, Lanky.
You know, I gotta say one thing before you do this.
Lanky.
You know what? Really, I gotta say what I'm kind of like.
Here we go.
A bit. It's a bit like saddening. Is that I would I would have loved to see Etika's reaction to Sora. Man, that would have been so funny.
Yeah.
That'd be
Okay.
cool.
Alright, here's a good spot. Well, let me first do this.
I suppose.
Okay,
Mhm.
boys.
Yeah.
The time right now is 5:42, at least in my area.
Same as here.
So this is probably where we should be ending the session.
So,
But here's where we're at right now.
Let's at least finish off the boss.
As you can see, this is where we're at.
Mm-hmm.
We've gotten everything. All the fairies, all the banana medals, all the crowns, and all the golden bananas, including that extra banana.
That extra one that we got through cheating.
Yes.
I like I did make that emphasize that.
So, Grant, I think you may have to make this your very first longer episode because we're literally just have to fight the boss.
Oh, I got a way of doing it. Don't worry.
What was that?
I got a way of fixing that.
All right, cool. If there are some bits you have to cut up, then that'll be fine. Otherwise, it's time to fight the boss because I want to be fucking done with this all by the time we start our next session.
Let's make sure that next week we tackle Fungi Forest.
Indeed.
But did we get what we needed to do this week, though? That's the thing. Done.
What was that? What was that, Grant?
Did we get what we needed to do done?
Yes.
That's the question.
There's our portal right there.
Hold on.
Alright, let's go. Let's be done with this fucking
We're
raid.
done with all this hoopla.
Lanky call.
Alright. Let's get to fighting this boss.
I hate this stage and the boss, but if there's one thing I will say is that the boss makes the funniest noise, and you're about to see what that is.
Bring it on.
Waterfall? Bring it on.
Time to fight Puff Toss.
What was his name?
Puff Toss.
Saying goodbye, thank you.
Jeez.
But yes, this is how we fight him.
In a boat.
I'm on a boat. I'm on a boat. There's me on a mother boat.
And timer starts. Let's frickin' roll. Oh man, I can feel the voice crack on that timer. Probably not gonna be noticeable in recording.
Maybe. Sometimes it picks it up.
You ever just have those situations where you don't mean to voice crack?
Oh man. We all don't mean it, it just happens.
Yeah. That's fair. Ouch. Yeah. Duh. There it is. Boom.
It's gonna get worse now.
You're just gonna fry this oversized. Oh,
I think I know what to put when it dies.
oh, bring it on. Apparently, he's raining fire from the freaking sky.
Very interesting.
I was being chased by a fucking heat-seeking pufferfish.
You
Get
get the-
away.
Why did you choose? Why did you
It
choose
was
Lanky
taking
Kong to
care
do
of your
this?
pocket.
Does it matter what Kong you choose or no?
Alright, I think this is the last one.
Man, you can just tell what Rare style is
Tiny.
based on how they their character and enemy designs look. Mainly the enemy designs for sure, like the bosses. That's why you can tell Yooka-Laylee just is screaming Rare.
This feels very much like Planet.
You know what would have been? You know what would really have sucked? Because I realized that the only reason games like Yooka-Laylee and
He's dead.
in the Nicktoon All-Star Brawl. There he goes. Just keeping quiet so the sound effect can be played. Anyway, the other reason games like,
There you go.
the other reason games like those can exist is because of back in the day that legal action that Capcom took against SNK for their games and lost because they were trying to say, oh, these games are a rip-off of our games, so we can sue because we own the right to this sort of gameplay style and everything. It's too similar to ours, so we're suing. And they lost that case. I can only imagine if Capcom would have won that would have been a precedent set in games like.
We would have never gotten many of the game types we've gotten nowadays.
Oh no, things like Yooka-Laylee couldn't exist, and neither could even PlayStation All Stars or Nicktoon All Star Brawl, because Nintendo could just sue and say, well, this is too much like Smash Brothers, so.
Alright, well, I don't know about all that, but here's what I do know. We're free. We're finally
free from
fucking-
Gloomy Galleon.
But are we?
Yes. So let's deliver the key to Clumsy.
He's gonna say, He's gonna be like, I don't want this key because you cheated.
Let's deliver the key to Clumsy, open the way to the next world, and we can finally call it an episode.
I don't want the key
This
if
is my-
I'm a cheater.
This may be our longest episode, and in fact, this may well be our gloomiest session.
Well, technically,
Not because we were talking about like any sad topics or anything, but just the whole fucking experience with Gloomy Galleon was just atrocious.
technically the
It
longest.
always is.
The longest video was though I trimmed it down, was the final battle of Demon's Crest, which was 50 minutes.
There it is.
Dear jeez.
I had to trim it. Well, I kind of trimmed it down.
Okay. So as you saw, a cannon had been revealed that'll take me to the next world.
And we're gonna have more
Whatever that world is.
bananas than we really need.
But let's just go right here. Just right on this this next little tree. And just listen. I'm not gonna lie. To say this was a fucking trip in and of itself, it would be an understatement. But look at that. Bam, 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 bam.
6 out of 5.
An extra bam.
Well, there's way extra band. You got 100 something bananas. Or golden bananas, I mean.
102. We're supposed to have 101. 102? No, we're not supposed to have that much, but look, it doesn't matter. What matters is
We're out of
We're
that
bad.
mess.
we're out of that mess, and hopefully
It doesn't happen again.
this will be the last we ever come across any game-breaking bugs, because if no other people have witnessed this bug, then maybe, Anthony, you might be right, and this was a game-breaking bug only on this particular emulator. So I'm fucking hoping that this is the last we'll ever come across this bug. But for now,
Guess we'll have to find out.
But for now, let's just take solace in the fact that we're free from Gloomy Galleon.
And
We
I'm
can
gonna
begin-
move these. Oh, go ahead.
We can finally begin our next adventure in the next world on our next session. So
And I'm gonna move these audio files in case my computer crashes again. So
yes. So guys, I don't know what you'll think of this. We already heard what Angry Joe had to say in the last episode.
the first one. That we did in this
But yeah.
Thank you, Donkey Kong.
I'm saving as much as I can. I don't care how many times I want to be permanent.
He's telling you it's okay. You can stop.
Okay.
I think I'm gonna end this now.
We'll see you guys on Fungi Forest next week. Or tomorrow. You know what I mean.
Whenever
Bye.
this comes out.
Bye.
Yeah.